When Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the Kremlin expected a swift victory, using its overwhelming military power. But what followed was a stunning display of Ukrainian resilience and ingenuity. Against all odds, Ukraine managed to halt the massive invasion, pushing Russian forces back and even striking deep into Russian territory. Through innovative tactics, Ukraine's forces caused devastating blows to Russia's war machine, including damage to critical airbases, costing the Kremlin billions of dollars. These strikes not only showcased Ukraine's resolve, but also demonstrated the effectiveness of its rapidly growing drone industry and advanced air defense systems. Ukraine has transformed its defense strategy in just 2 years, using technology and creativity to counter a seemingly superior foe. From drones built by startups and volunteers to state-of-the-art air defenses, Ukraine has changed modern warfare. So, how did a nation under siege flip the script on one of the world's largest military powers? Let's dive into the story of Ukraine's remarkable transformation and the people making it happen. Ivan, an anonymous drone designer, smiles as he displays his lethal inventions in a chaotic workshop on the upper floor of an ordinary building in Ukraine. The area is buzzing with activity with stacks of circuit boards, 3D printers, and drone parts. Among his innovations is a mid-sized drone capable of carrying a 3.5-kilogram payload, a significant advancement in Ukraine's rapidly growing drone industry. Initially, Ivan and other innovators began by modifying commercial first-person view (FPV) drones, originally intended for photography and racing, to carry explosives. These drones were met with skepticism by Ukraine's military, which dismissed them as mere wedding photography drones. However, Ivan's ingenuity led to a breakthrough: a beige chip that enables remote detonation. This chip allows operators to execute long-range attacks, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, rather than relying on the drone's crash to trigger an explosion. This innovation made the drones far more effective and deadly. These drones are striking Russian targets up to 400 kilometers away. Some have even hit a town in Murmansk, over 1,000 miles from Ukraine, or 1,600 kilometers. Some are taking out air bases, weapon depots, and even ships. Yes, ships. Ukraine's sea drones looks like glorified explosive jet skis at first, have sunk 25 Russian vessels. A nation without a navy taking out a large chunk of Russia's Black Sea Fleet? That's history in the making. The story of Ivan's deadly drone creations is just the tip of the iceberg in the world of FPV drones. But what exactly is FPV, and how is it a powerful tool? Let's break it down. When the Ukrainian military faced significant challenges after the Russian attack back in 2022, Ukraine had to innovate quickly, leading to the rise of FPV drones. FPV, or first-person view drones, are transforming the battlefield. This innovative technology allows operators to control drones as if they were inside them, providing a real-time, immersive view through a special headset or screen. Unlike expensive military drones that cost millions, FPV drones, originally designed for racing, were small, fast, and affordable. They could be built quickly and were highly effective in navigating tight spaces and delivering precise attacks. And so they became an indispensable weapon, capable of striking Russian military positions, air bases, and even deep into Russian territory. In the early stages of the war, FPV drones were primarily used for capturing high-definition footage of front lines. However, as the conflict intensified, innovators like Ivan began transforming these drones into lethal weapons. They were modified to carry and drop explosive payloads with the added capability of remote detonation. This feature eliminates the need for the drone to crash for the payload to detonate, enhancing both the drone's lifespan and operational safety for its operators. This led to the rapid evolution of Ukraine's drone industry. Dozens of companies began producing everything from reconnaissance drones to attack drones loaded with explosives. Despite regular airstrikes targeting industrial facilities, Ukraine ensured a steady supply of drones through decentralized production. Officials encouraged citizens to build drones at home, turning kitchens, garages, and workshops into miniature factories. So, in a true display of patriotism, civilians like Eugene Zingerman began to turn their living spaces into what they call drone kitchens. Eugene isn't a soldier. He runs a children's bookstore and a small advertising agency. But when a friend from the front lines offered to teach him and his friends how to build FPV drones, they jumped at the chance. But the process isn't easy. Speaking about his story, Eugene said most of the parts come from China, and assembling them requires skill. Components like flight controllers, cameras, and power systems need to be carefully connected. Some pieces aren't even available online, so Eugene's team uses a 3D printer to create custom parts. After assembly, the drones are tested and adjusted to make sure they work perfectly. It takes about 4 hours and around $270 to build each drone, but the impact they have on the battlefield is priceless. Soldiers attach explosives, like RPG-7 grenades, to them so they can destroy tanks or artillery worth millions. Eugene turned his apartment into a workshop, driven by the need to help in the war effort. Along with his friends, he learned drone technology from scratch. They pooled their money, bought drone kits, and started building, becoming a part of a larger movement supplying the Ukrainian army with these powerful tools. What's your opinion on Ukraine's rapid drone innovation? Let us know in the comments. Seeing this, later in 2023, the People's FPV project, a collaboration between Victory Drones and Viri, offered free drone assembly courses. Thousands of civilians joined and gained hands-on experience in building these critical devices to support the war effort. Take Violetta Olienik, for example. She used to make delicate jewelry, but now she assembles drones in her kitchen as part of a national plan to spread out drone production. Despite having no background in electronics, Violetta has put together 23 drones in just a few months. She believes that with basic skills, anyone can learn to build drones. Her story shows how the people of Ukraine are finding new ways to adapt during the war. The government is encouraging citizens to build drones at home, much like the Victory Gardens in World War II, where people in Britain grew their food to help in the war. The Ukrainian government recognized the potential of drones and established Brave One, a tech incubator to support and scale drone production. With about 200 companies now producing unmanned aerial, land, and sea vehicles, these drones boast a 70% success rate, which is better than artillery at a much lower cost. Drones like the ones made by Ivan's team have become an important part of Ukraine's defense strategy, reducing the need for expensive and limited traditional weapons. Ivan's team is now working on integrating artificial intelligence, AI, which could allow drones to detect and target threats on their own. President Zelensky is committed to producing millions more drones. His goal is to produce 1 million drones next year, which means over 83,000 drones each month. What do you believe is the biggest challenge in producing 1 million drones? Share your opinion in the comments. While homemade drones may not be as efficient as industrial models, one thing is certain: the benefits of Ukraine's drone revolution cannot be ignored. They have still played an important role in Ukraine's survival. The success of these FPV drones has not only boosted Ukraine's defense, but also positioned the country as a rising drone superpower. One of the most critical benefits is cost efficiency. Unlike traditional air forces that depend on expensive fighter jets and missiles, Ukraine has deployed drones costing as little as $400 to $2,500. This affordability allows for mass production, enabling Ukraine to launch numerous attacks without the fear of losing highly trained pilots. Lloyd Austin, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, praised Ukraine's cost-effective strategy, noting that these drones, at a fraction of the price of a ballistic missile, are taking down powerful enemy forces. Secondly, it's adaptable. Unlike the U.S., which focuses on large drones, Ukraine has prioritized smaller and faster drones that can be quickly modified. This strategy allows for rapid innovation, providing a flexible and efficient response to battlefield needs. Thirdly, these drones are effective in various roles, from reconnaissance to direct combat. Equipped with cameras, they provide real-time battlefield intelligence, offering a bird's-eye view that helps Ukrainian forces track enemy movements without risking lives. Additionally, advanced FPV drones can remain hidden for extended periods, striking at opportune moments. This innovation has improved their success rate dramatically, from 30% to 70%, making them a powerful tool in asymmetrical warfare. However, these advantages come with significant challenges. For this effort to continue, the investments must increase. As one executive bluntly said, "This war depends on economics." Ukraine's drone industry is still in its early stages, heavily dependent on Chinese-made components. This reliance creates vulnerabilities, especially since some Chinese suppliers also serve Russia. The risk of defective parts and long shipping times further complicates production. Domestically, drone manufacturing faces bureaucratic hurdles and financial constraints, slowing the pace of innovation despite initiatives like Brave One. Moreover, while these drones have leveled the playing field to some extent, they cannot fully replace traditional air power. Their limited range and payload capacity mean they are less effective for large-scale operations compared to advanced missiles or fighter jets. Additionally, Russia's air defense and electronic warfare systems can easily neutralize these drones, highlighting their vulnerability. Despite these limitations, drones have proven invaluable in Ukraine's defense strategy. However, to sustain and expand this capability, Ukraine must address supply chain vulnerabilities and streamline its domestic production processes. Only by overcoming these obstacles can the country maintain its edge in drone warfare. Everything aside, now the biggest question is, what does this all mean to Russia? Without a doubt, Ukraine's drone strategy is shaking up Russia's position in the war. And for Russia, this is a nightmare. Ukraine's small, agile drones are challenging Russia's once dominant superiority. On the other hand, Ukraine's drones, some as small as racing drones, fly under the radar, carrying out precise attacks at a fraction of the cost of traditional missiles. The problem for Russia is the speed at which Ukraine is innovating its drone technology. New models are being produced daily, and with the ability to mass-produce drones, Ukraine can launch waves of attacks on Russian targets without risking its pilots. Do you think Russia can catch up to Ukraine's drone technology? Drop your opinion in the comments. Ukraine's drones are also not limited to the sky. Sea drones have caused serious damage to Russia's Black Sea fleet, sinking several ships and forcing Russia to pull back. An impressive job for a country without a traditional navy. This is not only forcing Russia to rethink its military tactics, but also about logistics. Many of Ukraine's drone parts are now made locally, reducing its reliance on international suppliers, especially China. At the same time, Russia is left with an increasingly fragile supply chain, making it harder to maintain its drone forces. However, we can't dismiss the grassroots efforts of ordinary Ukrainians. They have shown a level of dedication and creativity that Russia didn't expect. As more people join in, Ukraine could have a steady supply of drones, making Russia's position more vulnerable. The stakes have never been higher, and Ukraine isn't backing down. Ukraine's ability to produce drones locally, often with limited resources, could shift the balance of power in ways Russia didn't anticipate. The situation is clear. Russia's inability to match Ukraine's rapid innovation could seriously weaken its position in the conflict. It's a decentralized fight, and Russia is struggling to keep up. If you think homemade drones are the future, wait until you see what Ukraine has done with cardboard drones. Yes, you heard that right. A mere 2.4-kilogram cardboard drone destroyed $100 million worth of Russian aircraft, a Su-30 aircraft, a MiG-29 aircraft, a S-300 radar, and 2 Panzer air defense systems. Click on the link right here to watch how these seemingly absurd machines are becoming the secret weapon that's shaking up military strategies worldwide. You won't believe what they're capable of. Go check it out now, and we will see you in the next one.